very different situation, different opponents, different styles of fighting. So it's not. I can't really quite compare the fight, side by side. But it does face challenges. Every time you move up in weight, fighters are bigger, naturally bigger. They can take a bigger punch. They can give a better punch too. They're heavier. But this is a different matchup. Canelo's not as fast, not as aggressive. He kind of goes on cruise control. He's not one to use his strength as size to dominate all the time. Sometimes, like say, cruise control, which allows Crawford, I think, to fight a little bit more comfortable. Crawford's IQ, I think, is superb. So I'm actually thinking he might pull it.
The boxing world was shocked by Mikey Garcia not long ago. He thinks Crawford has a good chance to beat Canelo. He thinks that Crawford's way of thinking is too smart for Canelo's size and strength. Fans are split down the middle. Just as things were calming down after Mikey's sudden choice, there was another bomb. Deontay Wilder told it straight. The fight is great. I'm going to do what makes me happy. I'm going with Crawford. He let his gut take over. Fans are crazy about what he said. The bronze bomber is cheering for Crawford. That is understanding power with accuracy. When muscle meets skill, Crawford's ring IQ could be the deciding factor. The buzz surrounding Canelo versus Crawford has hit new heights, and we're not even into fight week yet. Mikey Garcia didn't just pick Crawford. He went one step beyond. He talked down how to win the fight piece by piece, using a technique meant to an end Canelo.
Box, counterpunch, box, switch, from left-handed to right-handed, just make it complicated for Canelo, and win a decision. You're not going to hurt him, so win a decision.
It is not about power. It's about outwitting the line within his own environment. A game plan based on movement, time, and alternate rhythms like a chess master. It's the type of fight that frustrates, perplexes, and weakens a powerhouse like Canelo. And if Crawford pulls it off perfectly, we could be in for the decade's biggest threat. This is not just a fight anymore. It's developing into a style masterclass. Brains versus Brown. Mikey Garcia made the final call. Clear, secure, and without doubt. Right here. He predicts how it will all end.
So who do you think's gonna win?
I think Crawford's gonna win.
You think Crawford?
I think Crawford's gonna win.
By decision?
By decision.
There's no drama or knockdown, just sheer skill and ring mastery. He sees Crawford keeping one step ahead, controlling the pace, and never allowing Canelo to settle. It's a strong statement against one of boxing's biggest names, but it comes from a fighter who knows the sport inside and out. Garcia is not betting on power. He's betting on precision, timing, and intelligence. If everything goes as planned, Canelo and Crown Crawford might become the world's new pound 4lb kings. As fight night comes, emotions are high and the pressure is on. Deontay Wilder presented a passionate message grounded in respect and experience.
They'd have been through the big event, so they wouldn't need the advice of what how to control themselves or how to perform or act in such setting. They already know. If anything, I just tell them, go out there and have fun. This is an epic fight, and enjoy it while you can, and be careful out there. May the best man win.
No technical tips or breakdowns, just sincere words from one warrior to another. This is not just another match. It's a watershed moment with a reputation at risk. Wilder's speech captured the spirit of what this fight is about: courage, discipline, and success. Crowan and Canelo have both earned the summit of their sport, and they now stand on the verge of history. When the bell rings, it won't just be a battle of skills. It will be a war of hearts, honed over years of suffering. Wilder took a moment to think on the big picture. Beyond belts, beyond bragging rights.
It's a cold business, but it's also a business that will change your life forever. And they're just making history and continue going. And with the fight, it's a great fight, it's really a great fight.
His comments went deeper than just fighting language. This is about heritage, sacrifice, and the raw beauty of boxing. Crawford versus Canelo is more than just a big event. It is a watershed moment that has the potential to permanently alter lives to icons' journey into the unknown, risking all for the chance at immortality. In a sport where everyone gives their fair share, moments like this describe greatness. Wilder knows this, the fighters understand this, and soon the entire world will witness it. Wilder didn't only talk about skills, he discussed discipline, perspective, and what sets champions unique.
I love the way that Crawford have a fighter's lifestyle, You don't really hear too much of them out there doing too much crazy things, partying. They really have a fighter's lifestyle. At least around the people that I know, be around them. And he's ready to go.
Staying focused in a sport with so many interruptions is tough. That's what separates Crawford. He lives the life, breathes the craft, and stays prepared. There are no wild headlines or off-seat camp drama, only tunnel, focus on greatness. Wilder recognizes that emphasis, which is exactly why so many people are pushing Crawford to shock the world. With that viewpoint, the fight is more than simply physical. It's psychological warfare. Crawford might already be winning that battle. Wilder respected Canelo, but it was clear where his heart truly resides.
So he's a great fighter for sure. But I think Crawford is gonna show him a different style of things. Being able to fight left and right. He's just going into that mentality that he has. I love the demeanor and the willingness that he has. The demeanor of I am the best, and I'm gonna show you, and you're gonna have to prove me wrong.
7. This wasn't simply praise for Crawford's skills. It was respect for his philosophy of switching stances, reacting mid-fight, and entering the ring with a mindset that challenges you to beat him. That's unusual. It is the type of hunger that cannot be taught, the kind that builds legends. Wilder sees a competitor who isn't only looking for win. With each move he makes, he strives for excellence. Crawford doesn't come in looking to win. He walks in. Sure, he's the finest. When that kind of belief meets the focus, it can rock the boxing world to its core. Chris Algier started off as a critic, but the closer we go, the more his views shift.
I do, and more I'm thinking that way. I'm just thinking, when this fight first came out, I was like, this is silly. These guys are 3 weight classes apart. There's weight classes for a reason. They're both great fighters, but I don't see it. But as we're getting closer, coming off the back of Canelo's last performance against Skull, which was left a lot to be desired, but also just seeing them around each other, and just I'm thinking about the psychology. I've seen Canelo Alvarez beaten mentally, psychologically. I've seen him broken. I've never seen Terence Crawford get bullied, broken, moved in any way. So that holds a lot of weight to me, psychology, because I think at the highest level, that really is the difference, is what's going on upstairs. So I can see it. I still probably lean towards Canelo Alvarez, but as we get closer, man, I don't know.
This is no longer just a contest between 2 weight classes. It's a mental toughness battle. Algeria has seen Canelo push to the brink, as well as the cracks that appear when things do not go as planned. But Crawford has never crumpled, been scared, or showed weakness under pressure. The psychological edge is starting to weigh heavily, and Algeria understands it could be the key. If Crawford brings the same unshakable mindset to the ring, Algeria thinks he has a chance to dethrone the king. Chris Algier takes a sudden turn, this time studying the mental games played outside the ring.
Canelo being very media savvy and probably actually taking a page out of Mayweather's book. Mayweather did a really good job of talking up his opponents before he fought them, making everyone realize, like, oh, this guy, he's super dangerous, is the best guy I've ever fought, so-and-so, because Canelo said this in the beginning. He goes, that's not a good fight for me, because if I win, I'm supposed to win, and if I lose, it's a terrible, terrible thing for me. So now I think him talking him up and saying, oh, this guy's better than Mayweather, I think is a little bit of a subtle media play that will make his victory, if he is to win.
An asterisk. He's not only looking at punches and movement, he's explaining the plan from behind the microphone. Canelo may be using praise as a shield, a savvy plan for shaping the narrative before the opening bell. Build up profit, raise the stakes, and if he wins, his fame doubles. If he lost, the results were always severe. It's classic Mayweather mindset, and Canelo could be playing the same game with the media. Algier seized through the ruse, and in a fight this close, even press conferences may swing the scales. Just as everyone was pondering the result after Chris Algier's meltdown, Kyron Davis stepped in with true ring experience. He sparred with both Canelo and Crowan and did not hesitate to choose a sign.
In September, preparation is going to definitely be everything. Crawford adjusting to the 168 pound division. I know he's been sitting at a heavier weight for a while, but he's been showing his training and stuff. So that's definitely going to help him. Canelo experience, but then you got Crawford got great experience as well. It's going to be a great fight. It's going to be a good chess match. I expect a great fight. If I had to favor somebody, I would just pick Canelo because of the weight disparity. Canelo is naturally sits really well at 168, and it's just always tough for a guy to come to 168 and come from that many weight classes up and do something like that. If he does it, if anybody could do it, it'll be Terence Crawford.
This is not speculation or an idea. This is direct information. Davis has felt their force, tested their timing, and watched something most fans will never see. His choice is not influenced by media coverage or popular opinion. It is based on what happens, and the gloves are on, and there are no places to hide. And when someone who has traded shots with both sides favors Crawford, it adds significant weight to the discussion. The voices from within the game are starting to emerge, and they are not all in support of the favorite. Keith Thurman jumped in shortly after Kyron Davis backed Crawford with real experience. He spelled forth the true challenges Crawford would face as he ventures into a known area. Thurman did not question Crawford's confidence. He questioned the weight, the zone, and the minor details that could decide the fight. It is not simply a matter of who is better. It comes down to who is smarter when it counts. Every jab, angle, and feint could mean the difference between success and defeat. Crawford may be entering Canelo's universe, but if he follows the right plan, Thurman thinks he has a legitimate chance. And when a professional like Thurman starts breaking it down in this manner, fans know this is chess, not checkers. After explaining Crawford's need for precision and angles, Keith Thurman went on to compare the technique to Canelo's recent fights. He gave a single case to demonstrate what not to do and what Crawford should do differently.
Yeah, man, Canelo is really, Canelo's gonna be Canelo, man. He's really, I think all the variables lie on Crawford, Absolutely. Crawford is confident, but Crawford is outside of his zone. It's all about the training camp, the preparation, the extra weight, but still being agile, I believe that it's tactics and game plan. I hope he works behind that jab. I hope he works behind the feint, and I hope he uses small little angles and different things.
Thurman made it clear that surviving Canelo was one thing, beating him is another chose. Charlo showed that you can escape harm by moving smartly and being defensively sound, but it is not how you win huge fights. Crawford will need to be crisper and more aggressive. Taking smart risks will stay defensive. It's a dangerous balance. One mistake and Canelo will punish you, yet hesitancy won't get the job done. Thurman's warning is plain. Crawford can simply play it safe. If he wants to win, he needs to box with purpose and push the action. Keith Thurman did not stop at destroying Crawford's thinking. He dug deep into the method. He analyzed past opponents and shared valuable insights on how to outbox Canelo at the highest level.
Like when Charlo got dropped, right? After he got dropped, he never got dropped again. And because he never got dropped again, there's evidence that a nice mover, keeping your hands up, you actually can not get hurt by Canelo. Now, that was not the keys to victory because that was the keys of survival. But survival and tactics of not getting hit, the game of boxing is hit and not get hit.
Absolutely.
So to have the defense, to use the leg, Crawford's his own kind of fighter, so I'm not gonna tell him to fight like Charlo, move like that, but box harder, throw more offense. That's one strategy, but I'm not gonna tell him to do that, right?
12 Thurman's words were not simply analysis, they were a plan. He took lessons from Mayweather and Bivol to fighters who made Canelo look human. It is not about beating him, it's all about rhythm, man control, as well as taking away Canelo's skills. Crawford cannot just stay outside or trade inside. He needs to vary things up, be smooth, and drive Canelo into uncomfortable situations. Thurman says this is more than simply a skill test. It's a fight of strategies versus instinct. Crawford has the means to change the script. Keith knew exactly what to expect from Canelo after analyzing techniques and previous blueprints. Then he returned the attention to Crawford with a message that goes deeper than just fight talk. Thurman is not fooled by Canelo's act. He's seen it before, and he knows exactly what happens. Pressure, power, and body shots. It follows the same brutal plan, but what he sees in Crawford is much different. Not only ability, but also IQ, history, and hunger. They've been through the same grind. Thurman knows Crawford is capable of destroying the machine. The real question isn't whether Canelo can be beaten. It remains to be seen whether Crawford has the desire to be the one to pull it off on this stage. After all the technical discourse and tactical deception, Antonio Tarver gave something unique, spiritual, and even eerie. He spoke about Crawford in a way that only a fighter would understand. Tarver sees a man who has mentally replayed the fight, round by round, move by move. This is more than just planning. It's an addiction. Crawford is not guessing what Canelo will do. He had already seen it. Every feint, stumble, and step is part of a plan he devised in secret long before the rest of the world became aware of it. Tarver's voice brings weight, and when a past champion sees this kind of cerebral clarity, it's difficult to dismiss. Canelo may be the powerhouse, but he's facing a chess match in which Crawford may already know the ultimate move. Antonio Tarver wasn't finished complimenting Crawford's attitude. He dug deeper into what Canelo will be up against. He revealed a tough fact about the level of opponent Canelo will face.
The thing I say is Canelo hasn't faced an opponent like this in a long time. You know what I mean? I think Canelo's gonna have to go back to the Caleb Plant fight and look that good, that active, that, you feel me, moving with that type of grace to beat Terrence Crawford. Because weight ain't gonna make the difference. It ain't gonna be the weight. It's gonna be the skill set. It's gonna be the skill set and how bad they want it. because both of them gonna get challenged like they've never been challenged before.
Tarver made this clear. This is not about size, it's all about skill, and Crawford's ability is unique. Canelo cannot depend solely on power or pressure this time. He'll need to dig deep, get into his best shape, and fight with the same precision he did years before. Crawford's movement, speed, and hunger will put Canelo to the test like he hasn't in a long time. Both guys are marching into the fire, but only the one who adapts and thinks faster will live. Tarver sees this fight not as a confrontation, but as a test of greatness in which only one emerges successful. After examining skill, mindset, and legacy, Antonio Tarver combined them all into one powerful idea. He looked forward to the moment that would define everything. This is not just another super fight. This is the type of event that will be remembered. Throughout boxing history, Tarver knows that when the pressure is on, only the rarest fighters can turn defeat into victory. It's not simply about who does better on paper. It all comes down to who rises to the moment. In this type of battle, 1 second might mean everything, and one man will leave with his memory sealed. Tarver's excitement says it all. He is not simply watching a battle. He feels this moment. Crawford, on the other hand, does not blink an eye. His thought is clear. His energy stay unshaken. There's no question or fear, just laser focus. He's not here to talk size. He's here to show that skills are more important. This is not about moving into a new area. It's about embracing your fate. Crawford's tone says it all. He isn't just comfy, he's prepared to take over. And when a boxer joys with that sort of mentality, the weight becomes irrelevant. Crawford is not bothered with records or fanfare. His thinking is structured differently. He spoke with the calm earnestness of a guy who is constantly trying to prove himself.
You know, it gives me that mental edge to keep pushing a little bit harder because, you know, I'm already, you know, down 2 rounds, you know, being that the popularity and, you know, the person that I'm going up against is in a higher weight class than me. So, you know, in my mind, I'm already down 2 rounds. I gotta make up for, you know, those 2 rounds with the work that I put in going into this fight.
That is the danger in Crawford. Even at the top, he fights as if he's still after greatness. He does not feel the pressure of being unbeaten. He bears the fire of being ignored. It's the underdog approach that drives him round after round, while others become comfortable with their status. Crawford remains hungry and sharp, and when a boxer with that mindset meets a challenge like Canelo, history may be rewritten. Crawford did not simply prepare physically, he has been struggling mentally. Since the battle was revealed, he described the philosophy that drives every part of this training camp. In his mind, the fight starts with him already falling behind, not due to competence, but due to perception. Canelo's reputation, size, and weight class may affect the crowd, but Crit is using it as fuel. He is not hoping to level the playing field, he plans to fully flip it. With 2 rounds down, he's pushing harder and sharper with something to show. When a fighter takes that level of urgency into the ring, it becomes hazardous for anyone standing across from him. Crawford has displayed humility, focus, and commitment. Every fighter has a line they draw in the sand. And when asked where he stands among the greats right now, he did not hesitate. That was not arrogance. That was the truth stated with quiet confidence. It's the idea that has gotten him through every war, weight class, and hardship. Crawford is not seeking approval. He knows what he brings to the ring. And now that Canelo is in front of him, he doesn't need to show it to himself. It is about showing it to the world. When a man this deadly thinks he is already the best, you can be sure he will leave no question. Crawford was a boy who fell in love with fighting before he had titles, fame, or legacy. He shared a genuine reminiscence from the beginning. When it all started,
So when I first went in there, you know, it was just something to do, you know, because that was the first sport that I ever tried. So going in there, you know, I liked it to fight, so I always wanted to spar. Let's get in the ring and spar. Let's spar. Let me hit the speed bag. Let me punch the bag. You know, I used to get in trouble because I used to didn't follow the rules. But
I dig that.
The fighting aspect about it, you know, it was all just fun to me.
It was all just fun to me. There were no cameras or crowds, only gloves, bags, and a burning need to tear. It wasn't about punishment yet. It was all about the energy, the spark, and the need to push himself. Even after breaking the rules, he couldn't stay away from the ring. It called to him. That fire never subsided. It simply grew into focus, control, and a championship attitude. And now, years later, that same boat who only wanted to spar is set to headline the biggest fight of the century. That kid's love of fighting, the one who couldn't stay out of the ring, is now motivating a bigger purpose than ever. Crawford described in one line what this moment represents. This is not about flash or hoopla. It's about tenacity, desire, and obsession. Crawford's journey has always been about one thing: winning. He's not for style points. He's after legacy, and he's ready to go through fire to get it. Canelo will not simply face a fighter, he will face years of endless hunger. When the bell sounds, it's not just profit in the ring. It's literally everything he's ever fought for. This isn't merely a fight between two legends. It's a clash of styles, mindsets, and traditions. Crawford is coming with unwavering focus, years of experience, and the same fire he had as a child. Canelo brings power, pressure, and the legacy of being one of the most dominant fighters of his age. Regardless of who you back, this one has all the makings of a classic. But what are your thoughts? Will Crawford's slick style and mental toughness be enough to outwit the bigger, stronger Canelo? Or will Canelo's skill and body attack wear down Crawford round after round? Does size matter in this matchup, or will skill and hunger win out? Share your views in the comments area below. Remember to